Wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you can turn that down.
That's right.
Saturday, August 14th. It's for a great cause, and I mean, where else can you go for $25 and get that kind of entertainment and food?
All the food you can eat.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I'm really, I commend the Bridge Hotel for
Absolutely.
being such a willing, participant in this, and we know it's a worthy cause. So I encourage anyone out there too, if you have a product or a salon or a service or something that you can donate to Neil's organization as part of the raffle, please get in touch with him.
Sure. We accept anything from just simple lunches to nail salons, anything that has a value basically of $20 and up. Doesn't have to be a great value. And you don't have to give it in cash. You can give it in gift cards. And then a lot of people that give the gift cards, it's a good exposure for them.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It's great return business if they're happy with the service that was provided to them. So it's a good ongoing way to give yourself exposure, and you'll be listed in the brochure and all that kind of stuff. So we really give back to people that support us.
That's great. Okay, Neil, I want to go back to something that we mentioned at the top of the show, because this is obviously a worthy, legitimate organization.
Oh,
so
yes.
for anyone out there who wonders, I want to help the troops, but how do I know, like what's the criteria, I guess?
Here's the
what
basic,
are the warning signs for
Here's
people?
the basic scenario, and I'll make it very simple for all the people out there. If an organization, when they are collecting money, either on the street, by phone, however they decide, by internet, whatever they do, if they do not have, okay, let's speak for the state of Florida right now.
Okay.
Now, not all states have this, but Florida is very good about this. There is a CH number that is required by the state of Florida to be able to collect money as a nonprofit status. And that doesn't count the 501c3. We're only talking about a local, because most of the people in the streets don't have 501c3s. Right. But if you go to anyone that you'll see, whether collecting money on the street, collecting money in front of a Publix, collecting money in front of a mall, the first thing you need to do is to ask them to present their CH number. Now, each CH number comes with a certificate that they are by law required to have in an open area visually where people can see. So that's the basic crux of your question. You're really first and really your only question. Show me your CH certificate. And everyone, and it takes, let me put it to you this way. When we first applied for our nonprofit status, the lady in Tallahassee told me that 8 out of 10 people failed.
Wow, that's a staggering statistic.
It is. For various and sundry reasons, but the main reason is that until you fill out your documentation to acquire your CH number, you're not allowed to collect money. And people think that because they've made the application and they've sent their paperwork in to get the CH number, because sometimes it can take 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the time of the year and how many they have. So that's the crux of it. If you don't see a form they give it from, you'll see the state seal. It's a very simple form. That if you don't see the form, or they don't have on their literature, like we do, and you can read the number CH22210, whatever the case may be, that's the basic premise to make sure that they are legitimate and you are giving to a legitimate organization.
Well, that's great to know, because I know, and John, I think you told me this a long time ago, that those guys on the street, like, never to trust that, but I always used to feel guilty, like, driving by them when you'd see them out there in their uniforms with the bucket.
You never know.
That's right.
You never know. And you had to have some kind of way to vet through the legitimate ones from those who are out there to to scam you.
Absolutely. Well, that's the problem that we do face. There are a lot of methods, and then that's why the VA Medical Center, they don't give the names to us of the people we donate stuff to. They're so protected by their HIPAA laws that we give all our stuff to the voluntary services. Now, the nice thing about it is, John, you'll appreciate it, they get the products. We know 100%, 100,000% that they're getting the products. But the problem is we don't get to see who we're giving it to.
Oh, okay.
See, but that's because of the scams.
Yeah, that's what we tell the audience all the time. If you're thinking about donating, send us an email with the name of the organization. We'll check them out, and we'll get back to you and tell you whether they're legit or not.
Sure, and if you do have something that you do want to donate on an individual basis, every VA center in the whole country has a voluntary services coordinator. And it's very simple to find. They have their own office. All you have to do is call up the VA Medical Center, and ask to be connected to your volunteer services director of the voluntary services department, and they will tell you what they can accept, what they cannot accept, and that way you'll know that and what they sorely need, and I got to tell you, is they need Publix cards, they need food cards, they need phone cards. Believe it or not, they need phone cards, which is
The prepaid calling cards.
Which is amazing to me. Well, their cell phones die out, or their cell phones are not paid, so they want to call their loved ones. They can't call them from the VA. They got to have an outside phone card. So you would think, in this day and age, a phone card wouldn't be important, but it is. So that's just some of the needed items that we try to provide on an ongoing basis. We give a lot of stuff to them, and we know it's so rewarding, folks. It's just it is absolutely, and hopefully this year. Well, I'll give you a good example. Okay, we go up last year for our holiday gift program, and actually you can see it at what we did last year on the site. If you'll scroll down and click on the arrow with my face, and you'll see what we did last year. But here's a great scenario. I haven't told you this yet. John, you'll appreciate this as well. We go to give a basket to these veterans that were from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, right? Which we love to do because they're kind of like the forgotten ones. Everybody's focused on Afghan and Iraq now. So one girl that was a volunteer says, "Neil, you have to come over here." I says, "What do you mean?" I said, "This guy said he was General George Patton's aide." I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "Wow." So I go over and give him the basket. He says, "What was this girl?" He says, "Yeah, I was his personal aide. I was the only one that was allowed to walk his dog." And if you remember the funny dog with the black face, the little white dog, and he's telling me this story, and I believed him. I mean, I'm serious. He was telling the truth. He wasn't mentally disabled. He was physically disabled, and he's languishing up in the VA hospital in West Palm. And I wish I could remember his name because I'd give him a great shout because to put up with General George Patton had to be a heck of a thing.
There's got to be a lot of stories in there.
Yes, exactly. So we were very fortunate last year, and that's what I'm saying. Please, folks, if you can, come to the gala event. It's going to be a great time, and it has a meaning for it. And this year, like I said, we want to be able to provide these baskets, and we were so fortunate last year. And you'll appreciate this. We got to literally put a basket in a soldier for every war, because of the VA West Palm Beach had World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Then when we went down to Miami, we had one out of the 56 or 58 that was from Desert Storm. So we gave him a basket. And then in conjunction with the Iraq and Afghan people that were there, we got to literally hand a soldier a basket from every war. And no one around that we know of in World War II, World War I, but there was plenty still around for World War II. So that was a that's one of my little personal goals, and it was quite exciting, quite rewarding.
That's wonderful. Well, I know a filmmaker that I'm going to talk to after the show is over and see if we can get a couple of his films donated. My friend Jack Marino. Jack, if you're listening, hello. I don't mean to put you on the spot. We'll talk about this on Facebook or offline. But actually, Jack is, as I said, he's an independent filmmaker, and he produced a movie back in '88 called Forgotten Heroes, and it was focused on Vietnam veterans because in his mind, they were, as we know, they were overlooked and they were mistreated.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful film. I actually wrote a review about it for a couple of different websites. And so I'm going to work on seeing if we maybe get a few of those items donated for the raffle.
Sure, that would be great.
Because it's really it's a great film, and it focuses on a squadron of Marines in Vietnam, and it's just, and it also shows what I liked about that was he sort of presented sort of the America as a melting pot based on these different characters. They sort of represented all the different phases of American life, and very good film. So I'm sure I could get
I'd like
a few
to
of
see
those.
that. We were very fortunate. We met, I don't know if you have heard of an organization called the Nom Knights. Have they come across your radar? John, have they come across your radar?